And it's all about Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. I know you want to see him as the Joker.
Yes, I do.
At some point, maybe in Robert Pattinson's the Batman. But he's rumoured to be the Spider-Man 3's main villain. A new rumour about Spider-Man No Way Home plot claims Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin is the main villain of the MCU's Spider-Man 3 movie. I'll just read this little bit, John, and I'll let you in with your thoughts on this.
I'm getting clinical with watching where you're going now, Stephen. Absolutely clinical.
But it's Green Goblin was the main villain of Spider-Man. Had cameos in both sequels after dying in the first film. Yeah, I think it was a Visions, wasn't there? He came back in for the Harry character, played by James Franco.
Franco, he'll not be returning.
He'll not be returning, no.
That's for sure.
His return in
Seth Rogen's turned his back on him. He's fucked.
Spider-Man No Way Home is now rumoured to see him return in a major way. Collider's Jeff Schneider revealed on his podcast The Schneider Cut via the Direct that he heard Green Goblin is the main villain of Spider-Man 3 and is pretty sure this information is accurate.
It's usually on the ball, Jeff, to be fair.
To say Green Goblin is one of the 6 villains in the movie, and the movie's title is a reference to the villains from other dimensions not having a way home.
Oh, that'd be brilliant, man.
Oh, right.
I like that.
I like that, John.
I thought it was linked to Peter Parker.
Yeah, exactly.
But if it's the villains, oh my fucking god, that is dynamite.
Yeah, they're lost. So, but he does say, however, he also cautioned to take all this with a grain of salt for the time being.
Covering his tracks.
He's saying that this information is
so what you're telling me, Jeff, is it's fan fiction?
Yeah, it sounds fantastic, actually. But
it does.
John, it makes sense. So if you're going to have 6 villains, there has to be someone that lead them. I naturally assumed it would be the Michael Keaton character.
Yeah, Vulture.
Yeah.
Just Alfredo.
He's more
Alfred Molina. Molina.
Yeah.
Alfredo.
I can't say that.
Morelos.
That's Scouse accent, John.
They can never pronounce his name. It's an in-joke. No one outside of Scotland will ever get that. But within Scotland, they can never pronounce a guy's name, and it's the most simple fucking name on the earth. Alfredo Morelos. They say Morelos. It's just Morelos. Yeah. Did you not go to fucking school? Well, Alfred Molina.
It does make sense, so doesn't it, to have someone leading that pack of... I'm assuming this is the Sinister Six we're talking about here.
Steve, it's been a long time coming, hasn't it, the Sinister Six? Sony have been wanting it for years.
Yep.
I think you tried to introduce it.
2003 was the first time. No, sorry, 2013.
Yeah, because it was Amazing Spider-Man 2. I'm losing the plot here. It's like the sunstroke earlier on today. I couldn't even speak a word. I was actually tripping there. The most basic fucking words in the English language, which is not like me. I'm usually pretty coherent. I do swear a lot, but I'm coherent. Stephen, they've been wanting this for years, and look, if this is even a hint of truth in it, then it's tantamount to a confirmation that we are getting a Sinister Six movie. And look, Stephen, with a Sinister Six movie, it's almost necessary that we have more than one Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I think it's nearly been confirmed now. Obviously, Holland came out and says he didn't know anything about it. But you can't have 6 villains against one Peter Parker. Now, I did see a photograph shared from behind the scenes with him and the Ned character. I actually forget the actual guy's name. It's funny as hell, that little bald dude. He's not bald, he's just shaved his head for some reason. Don't know why. If I had hair, I wouldn't have it shaved in. But he was bruised. He'd been beaten up, the actual Peter Parker character, Tom Holland's character. So he is going to get his shit kicked in quite a lot in this movie, I'm pretty sure. But I think at some point we will see the 2 other Spider-Man characters coming in. Eric Spider-Man, Philip Spider-Man. It's
very easy to say.
I think we will see those 2 coming in.
That makes sense, John. I mean, you've got 6 villains, and you want 3 Spider-Men. I don't know how to say it. Spider-Mans.
What's the plural of Spider-Man? Lexi? Spider's eye?
Well, you've got a Spider-Man taking on 2 each, then, haven't you? You know, and that's the way it could be cut. You know, that's
and it would certainly be good if it was at the end. If they appear in the middle and it's just them beating up on Tom Holland's Peter Parker, and then it's almost like a portal scene where the other 2 come out, and then the finale, the final act, is just split between these 3 guys taking on different villains. It would be absolutely incredible.
I'm going to just ask a question.
And just Green Goblin coming back, I'd love that, man.
I was going to say, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, who's he taking on? What's the 2 he's
I
taking
think
on?
Myself, Stephen, he would take on Green Goblin.
And Doc Ock.
Because that's his villains.
Yeah.
And then Electro would obviously be the Andrew Garfield version. I don't know who else he could take on, but I presume Tom Holland will take on Vulture and Scorpion, is it? Is it Scorpion? I don't even know. The 2. Venom's rumoured that, I don't know if he will. We don't know who the sixth one would be, Stephen. We know that it's definitely Doc Ock and Electro. We know that Vulture and Scorpion, I think it is a Scorpio, they have unfinished business. There was an end credit scene at the start of Homecoming that's not been addressed, and that's sloppy, and Kevin Feige's not sloppy. He will pay back to that end credit scene, so they've got unfinished business. It leaves potentially Green Goblin if he's telling the truth, and I think it is. I think Dafoe will come back, and then there's a unknown mystery one. It could be Venom, it could be Tom Hardy coming in. So if it is him, then you would presume it would probably be, I don't know, man, him taking on Scorpio and Vulture, and perhaps Garfield taking on Electro and Venom. I don't know, Steve, I don't know. It's all hypothetical. We're making things up here. But you would think Tobey Maguire would take on his traditional villains, and Dafoe and Alfred Molina were his villains. So it makes sense. It's all making sense, Stephen. Can you not see it now? It's all starting. It's all fitting. We have these villains who can't get home. We have two Spider-Man characters coming in who can't get home. They all fight their own villains. It's fucking payback. It's all perfect. Make it so. Number one.
John, we're only
make it so,
John,
number one.
Point, right?
Patrick Stewart. Make it so.
That's the second time you referenced that
Rijkaard
since last week's episode that we did. We have to make that a point that you say that in every episode.
Make it so, number one.
Yeah.
Steve, I love Generation.
I will
love
say
that.
one thing. We're only, what are we, 6 months away? 6 months away from the Spider-Man release.
Yep.
And we've not heard a thing. They must have a
They're
lot
trolling the fans.
under wraps. They must, John.
Stephen, see, I'm convinced.
We're not getting anything apart
No trailer.
from that photograph you're talking about, Tom Holland and his little pal Ned.
Stephen, the fact we've not got a trailer 6 months out, we've already had multiple trailers for just Black Widow. We've had one trailer for Shang-Chi. Yeah, we've had trailers. So I think they're trying to furiously cut things up to make it look like they're not in the movie, but they're absolutely in the fucking movie, Stephen. I don't think they can afford to give anything away. This movie is almost directly connected into WandaVision and then into Multiverse of Madness. These are colossal movies that are coming out. I think they're going to shape the rest of Phase 4 and beyond irrevocably. So they have to get it right. The promotion, everything, the actual story.
I've got every faith.
And I hope
William
Dafoe. William Dafoe coming back would be amazing.
Well, exactly. And I will say one thing about Sony. They did the Spider-Man films brilliantly. Apart from one. One out of the... maybe
one
two,
and a half.
Maybe Amazing Spider-Man 2 wasn't great either, to be fair. But I think at that point they already knew that we're getting this sort of deal with Marvel at that point, and they just kind of gave up.
They've made 3 of the greatest Spider-Man movies of all time. 1, 2 and Into the Spider-Verse. And none of the Tom Holland ones have came there. That was good. It was good.
First Andrew Garfield with your man from, I always forget his name, Reef Fiennes or something like that. Ifans, the Welsh guy.
Oh right, Ryan Ifans. It's Rise Ifans something.
His name wrong, John.
But
he was a great Peter Parker. Him, he played that lizard character. I can't remember the doctor. It was the sort of mentor for Peter Parker in school. Can't remember his name, but it was great. It was great, John.
Search it up just now, Steve.
Yeah, but